Good morning, students. In Civics part, today we are going to see about Unit 2, the Constitution of India. Why do we need a constitution? Yes, almost every aspect of our lives is governed by a set of rules. Students, think of your games. Each game has its own specific regulations. In our school also, we have certain rules and that you have to follow. Similarly, society also needs some certain rules so that people can live together in a safe manner. These are called laws. For that, constitution is very important. Now let's see the learning objectives of this lesson. To know about the Constitution of India, to recognize the formation of our Constitution, to know the salient features of our Constitution, to know the fundamental rights and duties of the citizens of India. The Constitution of India. The lesson speaks about the formation of the Constitution of India. Constitution of India gives guidelines to govern the country and also it ensures the fundamental rights and duties of the citizens and how it protects them. Do you know, students, what is meant by constitution? Constitution is nothing but it is a set of rules that guides how a country, state or other political organization works. The constitution may tell what the branches of the government are, what powers they have and how they work. It may also state the rights of citizens. In simple words, we can say that the basic principles and laws of the nation, state or social group. Do you know, students, why do we celebrate the Republic Day? Yes, Republic Day has been celebrated every year in India on January 26. Since 1950 to honor the date on which the Constitution of India came into effect. Republic Day is a day to remember when the Constitution of India officially came into force on January 26, 1950. Students, now you all understood, no? Why do we celebrate the Republic Day? Yes, our constitution was framed and came into existence from 26th January 1950. Now let's see the reasons why this constitution came into existence on 26th January 1950. When the Congress met Lahore in 1929, the members of the Congress and officially declared the same day as the Day of Purna Swaraj or the Day of Complete Self-Governance. The next year, 26th January 1930 was celebrated as the Independence Day. Now you all understood, no? Why it is came existence on 26th January 1950? Because on this day in 1929, the Declaration of Indian Independence was officially announced by the Indian National Congress. Now let's take a look at how the Constitution was created. Though it came into force only in 1950, M.N. Roy, a Communist Party leader, was the first to move the idea and the demand was accepted in 1940. The Constitution is an authentic document containing the basic ideas, principles and laws of a country. Authentic is nothing but an official document. It also defines the rights and duties of citizens. The laws governing a country originate from the Constitution. The Constitution of India is the ultimate law. It explains the fundamental concepts of structure, methods, powers and duties of government bodies. Students, why Constitution is very important for any country? Because the Constitution contains the most important rules of our political system and it explains the Constitution is the highest law of the land. Now let's see Constitution of India. What are all the things that make the Constitution of India? Let's see. The Constitution of India is the ultimate law. It explains the fundamental concepts of structure, methods, powers, and duties of government bodies. Fundamental rights and duties of the citizens also it explains. And then directive principles are also mentioned in this constitution. So it is holistic in nature. Directive principles is nothing but it is a state policy aim to create social and economic conditions for all the citizens. It makes them to lead a good life. What is meant by directive principles? Yes, they are certain guidelines to be followed while the governments frame law. Now let's see when did they begin to frame the constitution. In 1946, nearly 389 members of the Constituent Assembly who belonged to the different parties from different places came together to frame the Constitution of India. And the chairman of the committee was Mr. Rajendra Prasad. Now let's see who were the other significant members in the Constituent Assembly. Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Maulana Azad, S. Radhakrishnan, Vijayalakshmi Pandit, and Sarojini Naidu were the members in the Constituent Assembly. Who were the other significant members in the Constituent Assembly? Yes, Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Maulana Azad, S. Radhakrishnan, Vijayalakshmi Pandit and Sarojini Naidu. Now let's see how many women members were there in the Constituent Assembly. Women also take part in the Constituent Assembly. 15 women members were in the Constituent Assembly. Do you know, students, the father of the Constitution of India is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. The drafting committee was formed with 8 members. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of drafting committee. Drafting committee is nothing but it is a committee, is a group of people who sit together to draft or frame a constitution. B.N. Rao was appointed as an advisor. The committee met for the first time on 9th December 1946. Students note it carefully. B.R. Ambedkar was a chairman of drafting committee. B.N. Rao was appointed as an advisor. Now let's see how did they form the Indian Constitution. The Constitution of nearly 60 countries including the UK, USA, former USSR, France, Switzerland, etc. First, they were thoroughly observed and their best features have been adopted by our Constitution. Nearly 2000 amendments were made before the draft was finalized. Amendments is nothing but something they will change or add some laws is called an amendments. It takes a period of 2 years, 11 months and 18 days. It was completed on 26th November 1949. 26th November is celebrated as a day of the Constitution. Students note it carefully. 26th November is celebrated as the day of the Constitution. Why they celebrated 26th November as the day of the Constitution? Because on that day only the Constitution was accepted by the Constituent Assembly. So 26th November is celebrated as the day of the Constitution. They almost spent 64 lakh to frame the Constitution of India. Students, how much was spent to frame the Constitution of India? Yes, 64 lakhs. Now let's see what are the objectives of the Constitution. Objectives of the Constitution. The preamble of our Constitution stresses on the justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. What is meant by preamble? The preface of the constitution is the preamble. Preamble is nothing but is being a first step that sets something for a constitution. According to preamble, India is a sovereign, socialist, secular democratic republic. Now let's see what is meant by sovereign. The constitution has granted the people the right to rule. The members of the parliament and the legislative assemblies are elected by the people. It refers to the ultimate power of the country. Sovereign is nothing but it means the constitutional independence of a state. Whether the state can be federal, confederal or unitary. Federal is nothing but they can divide the powers into local government, national government and central government. Confederal means distributed equally to all the states. Therefore, sovereign is very important for this constitution. The state can be federal, confederal or unitary. However, all states have rules. Now let's see what is meant by secular. Law allows all the citizens of a country the right to follow different faith and religious beliefs. All the religions in our country hold the same status. Secularism is a belief system that rejects religions. It rejects who believes that religion should not be part of the affairs of the state or part of public education. Fundamental rights. What are fundamental rights? Fundamental rights are the basic human rights of all citizens. Right to equality. Right to equality is one of the 6 fundamental rights in the Indian Constitution. Students, it includes equality before law, race, religion, gender and caste or birthplace. And the next one is right to freedom. Freedom is the power or right to act, speak or think. The right to freedom of association is recognized as a human rights, a political freedom and a civil liberty. And then right against exploitation. Students, first you all need to know what is meant by exploitation. Exploitation means treating the people unfairly in order to treat some people as a labor. Right against exploitation. Given in Articles 23 and 24. It provides 2 provisions. The first thing is human beings and beggar can't be forced as a labor. And the abolition of employment of children below the age of 14 years in dangerous jobs like factories and mines. Only 2 things. One is the human beings and the beggar can't be forced to do as a labor. And the second thing is children below the age of 14 years can't be doing dangerous jobs like factories, mines, etc. Right to freedom of religion means they have a right to choose a religion or no religion without interference by the government. Freedom of religion is guaranteed by the First Amendment to the Constitution. Cultural and educational rights. Cultural and educational rights safeguards the rights of linguistic, cultural and religious minorities, and it also preserves the culture and heritage. Students, cultural and educational rights ensures the education is provided for everyone without any kind of discrimination like races, language and cultures. Right to constitutional remedies. The right to constitutional remedies is considered to be the most important fundamental right because it ensures the protection of our fundamental rights. It helps the citizen in moving court in case of their fundamental rights. Now let's see what is meant by universal adult franchise. Every Indian citizen has a right to vote when they attain 18 years of age, irrespective of any caste, religion, gender, or economic status. Students, it gives a right to vote to all adult citizens without consider about their wealth, income, gender, social status, race, or any other restrictions. Students, listen carefully. Every Indian citizen has a right to vote when they attain 18 years of age, irrespective of any caste, religion, gender, or economic status. Now let's see some other fundamental rights that every citizen wants to follow. Respecting national flag and national anthem. It is a symbol of pride. It is not only a symbol, it is a symbol of pride. So we must respect the national flag and national anthem. As a citizen of India, we have a responsibility to preserve and honor our national anthem and national flag. Respect and protect the constitution. It is very important that individuals have the rights to respect and protect the constitution because it ensures the rights and laws including the constitution. Follow our great leaders. Every citizen have their own duties and responsibilities towards the social and economic development of the nation. So everyone ready to serve our country if necessary. Treating everyone as brothers. Conserve our ancient heritage. Conserve natural elements like forest, rivers and lakes to develop science, humanity and feelings of reformation. Protect our government property as well as parents or guardians, providing educational opportunities to children between 6 to 14 years, etc. Okay students, now let's recap what are all the topics we have discussed in this session. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, N. Gopalasamy, K.M. Munshi, Syed Muhammad Saudullah, N. Madhava Rao, T.T. Krishnamachari, Aladi Krishnaswamy were the legal experts of the drafting committee. Drafting committee is nothing but what? Yes, they all sit together to draft or frame a constitution. And then the chairman of the drafting committee was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, was considered as a chief architect. When the constitution was drafted, there were 395 articles in 22 parts and 8 schedules. At present, our Indian constitution contains 448 articles in 25 parts and 12 schedules. 101 amendments were made till 16/9/2016. Amendments means what? Something they will change or add some laws is called amendments. So, 101 amendments were included till 16/9/2016. 26th January is observed as a Republic Day. The Constitution is an authentic document containing the basic ideas, principles and laws of our country. The father of the Constitution of India is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. The preamble of our Constitution stresses on justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. According to preamble, India is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Liberty is nothing but to achieve their potential. And the word fraternity means the sense or spirit of brotherhood. It promotes the unity and integrity in the nations. All citizens enjoy the freedom of worship. The executive is collectively responsible for the legislature. Fundamental rights are the basic human rights of all citizens. Directive principles are certain guidelines which are not mandatory. Universal adult franchise is every Indian citizen's right to vote when they attain 18 years of age. Every citizen has certain duties too. Let's see today's activity. List your duties at school, home, and society.